Hey, what's up, DLRs, Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking jet skis again today, and we are going to reference a 951 DI or direct injection engine. We're going to focus directly in on the fuel injection distributor, and feeding off the left side if you're standing port side, from the front is a fuel line. We're going to leave that alone. On the tail end or aft end, if you're standing port side, is an air line that feeds to your air pump. And in between that fitting of the air hose and the distributor is an O-ring. Hey, if that fails, you will lose compression and overall acceleration performance of your engine. We're going to show you the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely replace that internal O-ring. Let's get started. DLRs, here we are at the workbench on the other end or starboard side of the jet ski. This is a 2003 Sea-Doo GTX. It's my mom and dad's. And again, in the event that you have lack of acceleration or no compression, we're going to remove the seats and focus on the direct injection distributor, as well as the air hose and O-ring. Let's take a look. Taking a step back, rear port side seats have been removed, as you can see, resting carefully on the floor. And from here, we'll go inside the hull, and there is the direct fuel injection. And on this side, what we'll do is remove that plastic insert. Coming inside here, and right there, there is the air hose that feeds all the way down to your air pump, right there. And again, in the event that the little O-ring inside here dry rots, warps, or finally fails, you will not be able to hold compression. However, the fuel system pressurized, it should hold between 25 and 28 psi. However, once the engine starts, it should get upwards of 80 and maybe even more depending on your engine. And on the forward side, you've got a fuel line that's secured by this bolt and a plate. And it's the same back here. That's your air hose and your fuel hose. The very next step, extremely important, DIYers, cut all electrical power to the jet ski. And in our case, our battery is removed, but in your case, it's probably still installed. And I recommend disconnecting the black negative cable from your battery. All right, DIYers, we're back, positioned kind of port side, looking at the fuel injection distributor on top of the engine. And for safety purposes, I am going to remove the electrical connections for the fuel injectors as well as the spark plug boots. And some service manuals state to do this, some don't. So follow your service manual. That is my recommendation. I'll set those back. These little tension tabs here, they are thin aluminum. Do not damage them. Just push them in, as you see here, and carefully pull up and remove the electrical connection. I'll set that aside. Same thing back here. Just like that. And since we're here, hey, if you're ever curious what this is, in our case for our exact engine, that is what is called a knock sensor. And it monitors the internal cylinders. And in the event that the cylinder heads or any portion of the combustion chamber get offset and begin knocking and become unaligned, that knock sensor will pick up on it and immediately turn your engine into limp mode to protect everything that your jet ski has to offer. In addition, again, here is your fuel line and there is your air line. And on top, 2 fuel injectors, and here is a fuel regulator and an air regulator, and down below you've got 2 direct air injectors feeding into your engine and basically are in line with the bottom electrode of your spark plugs. And DIYers, in the event that your O-ring has failed on your air hose, your engine performance will degrade significantly because your fuel regulator and air regulator work together to provide a constant balance of fuel to air mixture and ratio to operate your engine at the efficiency that it is designed to operate and run. And I'll even shift this a little further back. Coming back outside of the hull again, port side, and DIYers, you don't actually have to remove your center seat brace. However, for your convenience, for better views and camera angles and lighting, I'm going to remove this. In our case, 4 10mm bolts. We'll loosen and remove those, pull this entire center brace up and out. And real quick, in the event that you choose to remove your center seat brace, again, you don't have to, but if you choose to, this piece, in most cases, has just a little bit of friendly adhesive there. Go ahead and carefully separate the two. We'll remove that as well as that whole ductwork. Much better access. In the meantime, there is where the 2 parts that we just removed will sit. Now to a closer view, And again, the right side of our fuel injection distributor, we've got an air hose feeding down to our air pump down there. And we've got a bolt here and a plate that secures the fitting. And we need to go get the proper socket and ratchet. And here it is, our Craftsman 42-piece set my mom and dad got me for Christmas. This is awesome. And in our case, we need to grab the 5 right there, as you see. And that is a 3/8 connection. We'll grab our ratchet, head back inside the hall, and get that bolt removed. Camera is now in position, and I went ahead and grabbed an extension. And just be careful as you align the socket into that bolt. And make sure it is pressed all the way in, and carefully counterclockwise remove this. And these should not be tight. As you saw there, it loosened very easily and quickly. And as you loosen this up, do not drop the plate that secures the hose fitting to the distributor. That'll be tough to find if it drops way down below inside the hull. And from here, I can remove the ratchet from the extension and basically just turn it by hand. Again, as you do this, be very patient and careful that you do not drop the bolt nor the plate. And at this point, I am loose. And I will carefully grab the 2. Bolt first. There it is. Followed by the plate. Check that out. You can see some Loctite that was applied when this was installed or built back in 2003. Now, just in case it leaks, I am going to apply some paper towel right below where the hose feeds into the distributor. And from here, I'm going to support or press on the right side of the distributor as I simultaneously pull the air hose out of the fitting or rail here. And again, be careful. There we go. And there is the O-ring right there. And nothing coming out yet, which is good. Next, I grab my little pick tool. I'll post a link down below in the comment section as well as the description section on where to purchase a really cool 4-piece set of pick tools. And all I'm going to do now is ever so carefully, without scratching or gouging the fitting itself, is kind of grab a hold of that O-ring as shown here and sink that pick tool in, lock it in place, and basically pull that O-ring up and off as shown here. There it is. Notice the color, it is not black. This O-ring is specifically designed to take on extreme chemicals such as fuel, oil, and more. From here, I'll just grab some paper towel and carefully clean the fitting itself. And really focus on that groove that the O-ring rests in. You want that as clean as possible. In addition, you really want every aspect of the mating fitting to be clean, as well as the hole to be clean and clear as you see here. Look at that. Nothing inside obstructing the air passageway through the hose. Making our way around the jet ski. Hey, if you're into skateboarding, definitely check out the links below. We'll show you how to build your own custom logo skateboard and mount them on the wall. And I'm going to use the 2-stroke Mercury Marine Engine Oil Synthetic Blend to lubricate the new O-ring. And on the right hand side, there's the O-ring we just removed, and on the left hand side, there's the brand new O-ring. You can see just a slight size difference. Again, the one on the right is 20 years old, so obviously it has expanded. And here's the part number. And above that, there's the part number for the opposite end fuel line fitting O-ring. And here is our fuel schematic, and feeding out the top portion of the engine to our distributor. Number 56 is the O-ring we are replacing at this moment, and then 58 right there is again the opposite end fuel line fitting O-ring. But again, we're focused on the air hose O-ring at this point. At this point, I've got the camera set back, and again, here is the 20-year-old original O-ring, probably original from the factory. Honestly, not in that bad of condition. And again, here is the brand new one. There's the part number. We'll go ahead and open this. And before we install it on the air hose fitting, we are going to lubricate it. And again, just a slight size difference in the two, as you see. Again, the 20-year-old is stretched out. There it is. Set that aside. Next to the Premium Plus 2-stroke oil that I just showed you with the cap on tight. Obviously, I'll tip it upside down and then back upright. And I will use the oil that attached itself to the inner side of the cap. And again, I'm just going to lubricate this. And then what we'll do is head back inside the hull to the fitting and get this installed. Back inside the hull, and I am going to carefully clean out the insert and get as much dirt and grime out of the mating surface as I possibly can. However, be careful, you don't want any of this paper towel to break free and get stuck inside your fuel rail. That would not be good. Back with the O-ring, and I've got it properly lubricated, and the way to do this is angle it in a way where the O-ring goes in one side of the insert, and pinch it with your thumb and carefully insert it on, as shown here. Sorry I'm getting in your way. And push it on again until it is flush all the way around inside the manufactured cut, as shown here. And from here, I'll apply some more oil, only to the O-ring section, not the tip. Again, just the oil to the O-ring. Clean my hands. From here, double check that the O-ring is secured all the way around and properly resting inside that machine cut or groove. Align it as straight as possible, push it in until it clicks. Next, what we'll do is carefully remove any and all previous Loctite, and we'll clean up this plate. Best to do it over your workbench so you do not drop it inside the hull. DIYer is back to the workbench, and we are going to clean the securing plate and remove any and all previous Loctite. A little bit came out, and we're going to clean the thread and apply Loctite 518 to the thread. Again, Loctite 518 per our exact serial number service manual. Not Loctite 243. Not Loctite 271, not Loctite 680, but again, Loctite 518 per our exact serial number service manual. Again, clean the thread out, and it's pretty clean now. Take the cap off and apply just a little bit. As shown here. That's all you need. Cap your Loctite off, and I'll rest the bolt like that, and we'll head back to the hull. All right, DIYers, we are back inside the hull, and to the right side of our distributor or injection rail is our air hose fitting that we just secured with the brand new O-ring. And in our schematic, believe it or not, it doesn't reference anything other than injection oil to lubricate that O-ring. In other words, it doesn't have us apply any additional additive or sealant to that fitting prior to securing that plate with that bolt. And at this point, again, we are going to slide the locking plate in position and hold it with my right finger. And from here, I need to grab the bolt that again has the Loctite 518 as you see here, and I'm going to align the hole and plate. Do your absolute best not to drop it. And I'm going to carefully screw it in without cross-threading it. It should go in extremely easily, and if it's not going in easily, go ahead and turn it counterclockwise and loosen it out to allow you to reset the thread so you can then resecure it. As you see, ours is going in very easily. And I have not attached the ratchet yet because again, I am not cross-threading it. It is going in extremely easily. And once the bolt gets real close to the securing plate or lock plate, go ahead and carefully adjust and align the lock plate as best you can onto the fitting. From here, I'll attach the ratchet and I will tighten it. Do not over tighten this. Believe it or not, in our exact serial number service manual, it doesn't say anything about a torque setting, unfortunately. So you want it snug, but do not over tighten it. Once it's tight, carefully remove the ratchet and socket and bit. Now to a close-up from above, and again, DIYers, do not over-tighten that bolt and plate onto that fitting. You will damage the internal brand new O-ring that you just installed, and that would not be good. Got the camera repositioned, and again, just double check your fittings, the bolts, the lock plates, and if all looks good, I'm going to carefully re-secure the electrical connections to our fuel injectors. Push down until the tension tab locks in place and clicks as shown there. And to the opposite fuel injector, same thing as shown there. Next, our spark plug boots, and align them, carefully push them down until you have ensured they are properly secured onto their respective plugs. And from here, DIYers, just double check everything. Again, if you've got any tools or flashlights or anything else helping you out during the project, just ensure you have removed them prior to starting the engine. And I have re-secured the center seat brace and reinserted the plastic housing there. Coming inside the hull, again, just double check that you're not leaving any tools inside the engine compartment or hull or flashlights. And from here, go ahead and restore electrical power to your system by, again, hooking up your battery, or if you got a switch like ours, go ahead and turn the switch to the on position. And DIYers, obviously, I've been given the green light to bring the jet ski inside the house, but my wife never, ever once gave me the green light to ever start it inside the house for common sense reasons, right? So if you're waiting for me to start it, I'm not going to start it. However, from here, go ahead and carefully connect your desk key to the desk post here, and your electrical system should prime the fuel injection system. You will hear that turn on. It makes kind of a humming noise, and again, it is pressurizing the injection distributor and system. And from here, just check for leaks. And if you've got fuel leaking from here, or you hear any hissing in the back where the air hose connects to, well, you need to carefully remove the bolts and plate and reposition your O-rings accordingly and resecure everything to, again, create that fuel-tight seal and airtight seal. And go and start your engine on a trailer, obviously, or on a stand with the garden hose hooked up to it. And once the engine starts, the PSI within the fuel system jumps dramatically. And check for leaks. If all looks well, go ahead and turn the engine off after maybe about 5 minutes of running and secure the seats. And that completes the project. And seats are resecured, DIYers. Again, we hope this helps, and we hope you check out that video where, again, we'll show you how to replace those O-rings. Get your engine performance back up to what it is expected and designed to do. We hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor below the video. You'll see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. And here are the old ignition coils. 2 brand new ones are installed, and a whole bunch of old parts here, injectors, regulators, and more. Old wires and boots, old temp sensors, old cap that goes on the start-stop switch and wire harness. If your jet ski is not starting conveniently, it might be as simple as replacing this little switch.